Hey guys, it's Celeste, and I said I was going to post videos, so here I am posting videos. Yeah. Um, so if you can hear the washing machine in the background, sorry about that. I did turn off the dryer because it's making this squealing noise, and it has to do with like one of the bearings in it, and I could go over and like give it a nice whack and it'll stop for a while, but I didn't want it to just come up and start making a lot of noise while I was filming this, because I don't plan on making this very long. I wanted to talk about what I'm reading right now. So I'm reading several things, but I wanted to talk at least about some of the physical things, and I also wanted to ask what you guys think about dust jackets. Like, what do you do with them when you're reading? Like, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But the first one I wanted to talk about is that I am listening to and reading The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. I've had this physical copy, this paperback copy, for a long time, and I really like it. It's nice and, floppy like that. I'm using a thank you note, a blank thank you note as a bookmark. But when I'm diamond painting, I was listening to the audiobook. I had it as part of my my member benefit or whatever on Audible, so I could listen to it for free without using a credit. And so what I was doing is just sort of listening to it and then kind of keeping up like where I am in the book, so you can see that I'm, almost halfway done. And it's really good. It's about, I assume a lot of people know what it's about because it's not new. It's been around. In fact, Morgan Matson, I think, has put out like 2 or 3 more books since then. But it's about this girl who she's like the daughter of a congressman, and she's been raised to be very like politically savvy and careful about what she says and what she does, and she's a planner, and her summer plans get messed up, and she somehow gets into this situation where she's doing like dog walking, and she's meeting people and having building experience, and it's kind of pushing her out of her safe zone. And the writing flows really well. The characters are cute. It's cute, YA romance type thing. So, but it fits for like the summer, and so it's easy to listen to when I'm doing my diamond painting, which I've been working on it. I could show you what I'm doing actually. I'm in the last section. I'll hold that till like closer to the end. And then physically, one of the things that I'm reading is Malibu Rising. This is just the dust jacket, and I'll talk about that in a second, why it's just the dust jacket. But I got it as part of my book of the month last month. Yes. What, month before? Yeah, I think it was part of my June book of the month stuff. And I had started reading it, and I had these high hopes of reading it in like one day, like really pushing through it. And I can with a Taylor Jenkins read, like, man, you could just like bust through it. But I did not. And so what I did is I put it to the side, and I've picked it back up, and I'm about 65% done. But when I sit down and do read it, I'll burn through like 20, 30, 40 pages, like no big deal. Just go through it. And I generally don't do that. Like, I hop around a lot. Like, I don't know, I get weird. A nonfiction thing that I'm reading right now, a nonfiction book that I'm reading right now, is When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi? Shoot, I should probably be able to pronounce that, but again, this is just the dust jacket, because the actual books to those 2 books are on my bedside table, and my husband is asleep, because I wait and film at night when it's quieter, so it's like midnight. But I'm a night person, so I'm enjoying that. And then I'm also reading, and I'm getting into this, like I'm really, like I can't wait to talk about this with people, Firekeepers Daughter by Angeline Booley. I hope that's how you pronounce it. And this is the physical book to this. Okay, here we go. I'm not that very far into it. It's like it's like about 500 pages long. But I'm reading it because I'm trying to, I mentioned this, I think, yesterday. One of my goals is to read more own voices, specifically, people of color, people of indigenous heritage. And so that's why I specifically wanted to read this. It is a sort of a mystery thriller, YA, set in Sault Ste. Marie, way up high in Michigan. And I'm enjoying it. Like, so far it's got an okay, like the main character, I like her, and it's going all right. It's I saw reviews that talk about it being a slow burn, and for sure, because I had to get like 100 pages in before anything really happened. And I think that the reason for that is that the author was trying to really establish some of these characters and their relationships and get the audience, like the reader, accustomed to like some of the language usage and some of like the setting, so to speak. So I'm really getting, like I understand what she's doing, but like, come on now. But once I got to a certain point, I was like, okay, now I want to know more. I want to know what's happening, right? We got some conflict that I'm here for. And I put the dust jacket back on to show it to you, although I didn't bother to grab it for those other ones. I don't like dust jackets. Now, I'm not one of those people that takes them off on the shelf, but I don't read with them on. So like I put it on to talk about it, but when I'm actually reading it, I'm reading it naked, right? Like I take it off and read it naked. And my husband reads with the dust jackets on. And I said something to him like, "Oh, you're reading that with the dust jacket on." And he was like, "Yes, I don't take my books apart when I read them." And I was like, "Is that what I do?" But like, maybe I'm rough. I like my book. I know some people annotate, tab, dog ear, whatever. Okay, and like we could go into one of those tags where you talk about like what do you like or not like about like your reading habits. There's my washing machine beeping. But I am one of those people. I don't generally annotate for things that I'm reading for pleasure, and I don't tab really. I mean, if it's something worth looking up, I'll look it up. And I take the dust jackets off because if I leave them on, I'm scared I'm going to tear them. Like I have kids and cats, and sometimes like I never leave the house without a book, so sometimes I'm like shoving the book in my purse. And also when you're reading it and you like open it and it like does this gappy thing, I'm not that aesthetically displeases me. So what I do is I take the dust jackets off, and I'll just have a pile of dust jackets randomly on a shelf, and then I just read the book. And I like hardbacks and paperbacks. It just depends. Sometimes I go through a mood where I like paperbacks more, and sometimes I go through a mood where I like hardbacks more. If it's over 500 pages, I generally like a paperback over a hardback. Like sometimes I'm reading those Cassandra Clare books, and it's like, oh, it's really heavy. So anyway, that's that. Okay, so like, what do you think? What do you do with the dust jackets? Do you keep them on? Do you take them off? Some people take them off. Like, don't ever put them back together. No, I don't do that. I will put them back on and put them on the shelf. And I try to do rainbow shelves, and I think I'm gonna end up taking those apart because I can't find my books. I thought I would get used to it, and I haven't gotten used to it. Okay, so you want to see, before we leave, do you want to see the diamond painting that I'm working on? I'm almost done. Okay, you guys know what diamond painting is, right? Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is like a Van Gogh kind of knockoff looking thing. Can't get it in the camera. There we go. And I've done like, see how, ooh, it's shimmering. So I'm listening to the audiobook, and I'm just using my little like tool. Here he is. And I'm just like, doop, 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 putting the diamonds on there. I'm down here in this little corner, and you can see where I've done some of them and then not other. Like I'll do all the ones of one particular, shape, which stands for each color, right? And then I'll do all the next ones. So I think right now I'm working on the little blue percent signs, okay? And so I'm gonna hopefully finish that up soon. And I have this one, I don't need the light pad, but I have a light pad underneath for some of them. And whenever I get a section done, I roller it, and that's fun. Okay, so anyway, that's what I have going on for that, and that's what I'm reading right now. I don't imagine that I'll finish any of those books that I showed you. And I'm not quite sure what I want to read next, because I'm working on my bingo card, which I can show you guys that tomorrow. Where I am on my bingo card and what books I think I'll read to take up some of the spaces that I have left. And I guess I could talk about the spaces that I've already covered. I don't know. That might be a whole other video, maybe not for tomorrow. So anyway, I hope you're having a good evening, a good time, good day, whatever time you're watching this. And let me know what you're reading in the comments. That would be cool. Or let me know what you think about dust jackets. Do you, aesthetically, I like them on the shelf, but I don't want to mess with them while I'm reading, so I strip my books naked. But let me know what you think. Are you like my husband, where you keep it all together and you're just very careful? I don't know. Or do you just shred them? I don't know. So anyway, I will see you guys again soon. And have good times. Bye.